So it makes sense to feel like either one of these competitors could take the dub.
Here we go again. Elsom playing something a little bit new to form, but it's been pretty effective. That Axe was able to put out a lot of damage, and you were definitely applauding some of his Gauntlet plays earlier today.
Yeah, I was definitely liking the Gauntlets a lot, and I wanted the Axe to pick up, and it did. It really did over time. So we see the complete package in this Rayman. A little bit of misspacing on the Gauntlet signatures. That was probably one of my only issues I was having. But other than that, it was good, clean gameplay. Ragundas was playing really strong, so to see Elsom take that out, you know, going up against another strong opponent, doing a great job starting this one off with the Gauntlets. I said I wanted to see the SIGs tighten up a bit, and there goes one straight for Doggo.
Good
Oh, and the recovery still not enough.
How much damage does he need? Is Rayman weak?
Right?
He doesn't go to the gym enough. He's not putting in the work. His biceps are basically invisible. And that's why, but the recovery will KO.
I was definitely about to say, I don't know if the gym would even help him. He has no limbs. Oh, okay. So, but yeah, we got that first stock. Elsom going to take that one out. Doggo extending pretty hard. I like it. You know, though, you just keep holding it because you know you missed and just create some space so you don't get punished. Now, landing some good back-to-back sword strikes, trying to find that last hit. Nice dodge from Elsom, back on stage.
Yeah, managed to get out of that one. Saw it in his earlier set against Ragundas where Elsom struggled against the sword on the edge guard. But Doggo with the fake out, you saw that weapon toss down, just trying to bait a reaction, and Elsom threw away his weapon as a response.
Yeah, it was a good bait, so that's collected data for the future, but didn't really get too much off of it. Had to re-engage in neutral and finally caught the D-Light recovery. Now, going into the Katars, this is the weapon that we saw against Asmodee, the one that was really running the game. At first, it was the sword, and then the Katars started catching steam, but it was always in comebacks. So now, if you can keep from going down too big against Elsom and we see those same Katars, I feel like you have a strong set here.
Well, he's definitely going to be looking for those openings, trying to see how Elsom dodges. Doesn't get the end light recovery. On the other side, Elsom with his gauntlets is going to be looking for how Doggo dodges out of those side lights.
Yep, that was a good dodge right there. Able to punish and everything. Went for the down air. Oh, on to the right side. Okay, ground pound's going to hit. So now one of the things Asmodee kept doing was punishing the downlights. Had a big read when Doggo wanted to go for a downlight and was catching nice punishes on that. But I mean, even without that tool in itself, we still have a lead for Elsom. This is a scary situation. Big damage, doesn't land the combo, but the recovery is going to get the KO. Elsom was doing a lot of those recovery KOs in the last match against Ragundas and just keeping it going here.
Yeah, I think Doggo's going to want a higher ceiling map for the next one. Even though like a lot of Asuris like Small Brawlhaven, this one just not really working out for him right now at the very least. On the other side, I will say like he's been doing a really good job of changing up his dodge away from Elsom, which is just like making it harder for Elsom to get that clean recovery.
Yeah, that's definitely very true. So he's been making it really, really rough because it's a guess situation, right? So you're going to make the guess as hard as you can for the offensive player. But now it's the Katars versus the Gauntlets again. He's been struggling in this matchup. I don't know if he'd rather go with the sword because I did see the sword excelling a little bit early on in this game versus the Gauntlets, but I mean, he's gonna have to make do with what he's got. And on the side of the stage, ground pound, it's looking like it might be curtains, and yes, it is. Elsom timing it perfectly.
He played that edge guard so clean, knew every single option, played just high enough that he was like, I don't have to worry about a recovery, I don't have to worry about a GC NSIG, and then once you commit to that, I'm going to come back down with that ground pound and finish off the stock. Really clean edge guard from Elsom here, and that's game number 1 in his pocket.
Yeah, after you hit the first ground pound with the Gauntlets, I mean, that was textbook. You just set them up and just make them waste all their options. I mean, that's almost textbook with any weapon when you're trying to go for a ground pound, but with Gauntlets for sure, because you know they're super scared of all the side light options and all those things like that. You coming down there with them. So that ground pound was textbook Gauntlet gameplay. Elsom looking good. Axe in hand to start off round number 2 here in Losers Finals.
And of course, we're going to go to Apocalypse, a higher ceiling map, because again, Elsom was going for a lot of vertical knockouts, really wanted those recoveries to KO Doggo. And now that there's a higher ceiling, Doggo's going to live just that much longer.
Yeah, this is what you were talking about. You might want a higher ceiling, but one of the things that I don't know if that's what you really want for Doggo specifically, is Doggo sets up a lot of those neutral light or down lights into recovery KO situations. And now if you have a higher ceiling, you put yourself at a deficit while you can survive longer, you're going to have a harder time KOing also, unless you find new options.
I mean, he might be trying to go a little bit more horizontal with his knockout tools, but right now, Elsom switches over to the Axe with those horizontal KO tools. The N-Sig connects, goes to the side, and that's going to be Elsom with the lead.
Oh my gosh, what a read, what a setup. We barely seen that signature come out from Elsom. I feel like, yeah, last set we saw him try to do that pivot, but didn't really get the timing on it. Maybe one raw one just missed in neutral last set, but that one, probably the third or fourth one we've seen of that one, it is just pinpoint, takes a big lead, got the gauntlets versus the sword, and opts to go straight over to the guitars. The combo I was just talking about not going to be able to KO, but this time it'll do it, and keeping the game a lot closer this time is Doggo.
Yeah, really good reads from Doggo, and this time he's going to switch over to the sword. He could have left it there, but he opted to try to deny the weapons from Elsom for longer, but hasn't gotten anything for it. Instead, Elsom's the one who's swinging with his axe.
Oh my gosh, yeah, just tried to catch him slipping with the neutral signature once again. Wow, what a way to fight back on the side of the stage. Lands a good Sair. Elsom has no fear. Recovery's gonna hit. The damage is getting wrapped up so fast on the Doggo. Side signature's good. The chase down. Elsom, I see you.
He is getting every option correctly against Doggo right now. Doggo basically a full stock behind. He's like 1 or 2 hits away from getting this one to be a full stock behind.
Yeah, it's getting pretty rough out here. Yeah, I mean, like, he's barely on yellow. Got okay, landing a neutral light. He's gonna need like a lot of clean hits, maybe a good sequence with these guitars to really bring this one back. You know, you don't want to play it too slow because as we see, Elsom's not having an issue finding blows. So you really want to rack it up quick is what it's looking like to me at the moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, he got the dodge, but he didn't get the follow-up.
He had it. He had it. Oh my gosh, the turnaround. Elsom, behave.
He's ready to go on. He is like, you know what? I just went to game 5. I'm ready to just go to game 3. I want a shorter one this time.
I know that's right. Make it as fast as possible. Just take me to the grand finals. I don't have time for this. But Doggo says, no, you got a little bit more time to deal with me. Gets the KO there. Ate up a little bit of damage, not too much. But he was still seeing it looks like a little bit of a struggle for some of these KOs. Because it's like going down like recovery, catching Elsom coming back to the stage and having to land another one for both stocks just now. So we'll see what the new option is. We'll see what the neutral's looking like. Nice catches. Elsom trying to come down for the down air. Land that down light. Nice sequence. This is what you want out of the guitars.
Got a lot there. Only reason why it couldn't keep going was there just was not any more platform for Doggo to work with, but managed to bring this damage back. Gets the down sig, and Doggo's on the board. The guitar play, the horizontal KO.
Oh, look at this sportsmanship. GG's from both players. You know what? That's a rare sight. People don't slap that GG.
I don't GG.
I know. You know
BG.
what?
I give you a thumbs down.
Oh, no, man.
I'm just kidding. I just leave. I'm just like, I'm done. Whatever. I'm on to the next one. But numbers-wise, 515 damage put out from the guitars of Doggo versus the 55 on the sword. So definitely a guitar-heavy game from Doggo in that one.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, the guitars did everything. In the first game, we saw a little bit more sword, and it was like a good matchup versus the gauntlets. And I think Doggo just said, you know what, forget it. If I can land the combos with these guitars, then this is the way. Nobody can do anything if I catch a dodge read, so I just need to stick with this and make it the main weapon. But sword looking good right now in neutral versus the axe. Good damage, though, coming back from Elsom. Elsom racking it up, tries to go for the gusto, but not able to land the blow.
Yeah, didn't get that, but Doggo got a nice punish there, that downlight into the recovery. Unfortunately, didn't get enough damage to put Elsom off screen, potential for that KO. But now he knows he's got to add up more damage onto Elsom here.
Yeah, he's been racking it up pretty quick, though, so I'm not mad at him. But that's what I was talking about. I talked about Elsom not having a hard time landing hits. I had a hard time touching the stage right there. Nice. D-light ground pound. Gonna take the stuff. Yeah.
Taunts on him.
That's the perfect time to taunt. He's like, yeah, you thought you had me, right?
I mean, that's so perfect for Rayman, too. Like, that's definitely a lot of emotions in that one.
That was a great moment. Okay, so Elsom on the side right here. Doggo not really overextending or anything. Didn't really do much on that guard, but nice. Gonna land a side air and just letting him get back on stage for free. So I guess don't want to go out on the side of the stage and have anything turned around with the gauntlets on you. So it makes sense. Finally lands that Sair once again, and Doggo gonna take that first stock off, but just been playing catch up this whole set. Was able to bring the last game back, but playing from behind the whole time is not what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, completely agree. Like, he's playing behind. If he goes to the guitars, maybe he has that momentum, that potential to get the lead, but so far it's been a very sword-heavy game number 3.
Yeah, it's been very, very sword-heavy. There goes those guitars, but nice little setup there from Elsom. Dodged through and then caught that side signature. Had the sweat beads, but couldn't capitalize. Doggo fought off with, I think I saw it down there. And here we go. Got the nooch back in order. Oh!
Edge guard opportunity. Elsom gets past. Doggo giving him some breathing room.
Elsom's gauntlets have been looking really good. I'm not mad at these things at all. Oh, doesn't get a punish. Tried to go for the down sig, but Doggo was ready. Goes right over the top of him. Landed a side air.
They're both kind of taking their time a little bit more here in these final moments of their second stocks. They do not want to give too big of a lead.
This is a big deciding moment of the set, man. Like, you know what I mean? You're tied stocks. It's both 1-1. Ooh, what a gravity cancel from Doggo. That was a read if I've ever seen one. Going to go over to guitars for the final stock. But, yeah, you know what I mean? That's a big moment. Who's going to go into your final stock in one of the biggest games of the set, right? So, makes perfect sense to me for both players to slow it down. Recovery unarmed didn't do it for him. But down light in recovery with the gauntlets is going to take that one. Throw the weapon up, goes into the axe, and wants to keep the gauntlets, and I ain't mad at it. You know what? Rack that damage up and put him in situations on the side of the stage with this gimping weapon. I ain't mad at it.
And once again, Doggo, he's playing from behind. He's got to get that damage built up. And Elsom doing a good job changing up the dodges. Last time, dodged down. This time, ended up dodging up.
Yeah, Doggo's been making some good reads, right? Like, we were talking about Ragundus making good options off of the hits and getting some good dodges. But Doggo's been playing very good defensively against the gauntlets. Not been big sequences back-to-back from Elsom. It's just the fact that he's a Suri, so he's eating a lot of damage when he gets touched regardless.
Yeah, now he's in the red here in game number 3. Ooh, wasn't able to follow up off that down air.
Oh. Whew, really tried to hit the banger side signature, and it wasn't going to do it. But nice job. Lands a Sair, another Sair. Okay. Weapon toss into the downlight. Are you serious?
Just the dare to deny the wall touch, and Doggo steals another one. Again, playing from behind, but does just enough. And I really want to give credit to the movement in that final stock. Those backdash short hops, jumping over options from Elsom. He jumps over the weapon toss. He jumps over a Sair, I think, as well. There you see that weapon toss, and he just keeps coming back, hitting those side airs, and completely clutched it out.
That was the cleanest KO of the night. No question.
That was good.
No question. That was the cleanest one. That was a nice little setup. Tossed the sword, binked him in the head. He had no options left. He just tap him so he doesn't touch the wall just yet. Keep the sweat beads on and go over there and catch that down there. That was perfection. Perfection. All right, so we're going to go into this one. It is game number 4. It is a 2-1 lead for Doggo.
And Elsom making the character swap.
I didn't see it. Oh, Jae-Yun.
Sounded just like the announcer. Jae-Yun, man, that's an interesting swap. Again, no carryover, but maybe he's like, your sword did really well. Of course, you put out 325 damage in the last one. Yeah. So maybe if I have 2 swords, then it's going to work better.
2 swords. All right, so we got the great sword, the regular sword. You know, once the great sword came out, you know, does that change that one's like... It's like secret menu item. It's the light sword now.
Oh no, it's the mid sword.
The mid,
the vanilla sword. Oh man, Doggo does not care about any sword. It's all about the guitars. Holy Doggo!
Gosh. Well, we said that Elsom was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the next set, get me up out of here. But Doggo is the one trying to speed run now. It seems.
But now Elsom starting to get some momentum. That's the great sword. Definitely the reason why he swapped over to the Jae-Yun here is for that great sword.
Yeah, you land those combos, man. That damage racks up fast. But you know what? I mean, I'm not mad at it. You got to do what feels good to you, but I feel like the Axe was doing very well, and we were seeing just, you know, Elsom was just sticking with the gauntlets, which weren't bad, but I don't know, maybe give the Axe a little bit more of a chance. But you are back to the wall. It's one more game, so if there was any time to change, this is the time. Gets the stock off, but ate a lot of damage on the way there.
Yeah, it definitely took him a while to get Doggo into that KO percent to lead to that end sig. Still needs to put out a lot more damage. Again, Greatsword has a lot of opportunities. Like, if he gets that one dodge read, that Vortex can be brutal, but he just needs to get that hit.
So I gotta ask, for me personally, I always feel like I have a super rough time against Katars with the Greatsword, right? Is that matchup fair? Like, do you think that's even?
I think it's relatively even, right? Like, if Doggo gets in on top of Elsom, definitely going to be Doggo favored with those Katars. But if Elsom's able to play that spacing game, like use a lot of those neutralites, he has a lot of long range with his Greatsword, then it could work out, but the weapon toss works better for Doggo.
Oh my gosh, back to back. And this is a pretty big lead, right? Gonna opt for the Katars, try to melt this last stock away. Elsom has one more chance, one more stock to stay alive in this bracket. This is losers finals. Whichever one of them loses is out of here. The other's going to grand finals. One more game needed for Doggo. Elsom trying to hold on for dear life, doing a great job with his sword. Whiffs a down signature. You need to start eating some damage. You had a good sequence going, and that down sig wasn't even going to take the stock, so I don't know if it was worth it.
I don't know. Elsom's just trying to throw so much out in his final moment here, but this is definitely looking like a Doggo dub at the rate that this one is going. Gets a nice three-piece onto Doggo, but still, Doggo's got a second stock behind this one.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a little bit of momentum. I'm seeing the hits coming. You know, it's not as sparing as it was a moment ago for Elsom. Can't find that, couldn't find that gravity canceled downlight. Recovery's going to work out with the sword, okay.
There's a great sword.
And yes, opts for the Greatsword.
Final opportunity here for Elsom. He needs to get the big play. Tries to go for the weapon denial, and Doggo just kicks him away. Downlight recovery.
That's not enough. Okay, Doggo tried to get it over with right there, but not enough. Elsom's still alive.
Downlight recovery. That time it's gonna work out. Doggo closes it out 3-1 over Elsom. The swap to the Jaehyun not gonna work out for him. And that means Doggo has the rematch against Asmodee.
The rematch is here. Elsom had a good run. I mean, 2 good sets that we saw back-to-back, but Doggo really turned up in this one, right? Because it was looking very strong for Elsom in the beginning of this bad boy. That downlight recovery, he's been landing that a little bit more consistently as we've been seeing over the night. I mean, against Asmodee, I don't know if it's just player to player or if it's just catching stride, right? So, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of accuracy coming out from Doggo. So going into this one, it's definitely going to be a different set than we saw last time.
Yeah, we've definitely seen his Katars warm up a little bit more. We've seen him get a little